What's up, y'all? So I just left a Christ and coffee brunch, and the admin that's over the group is a Facebook group. I'm in Houston, Texas, so it's a Facebook group of women that are believers that are growing their relationship with Christ. We all get together and meet. This was my first time meeting up with them. The lady said that she's been doing it for a year now in obedience, and anyway, she had a topic that she wanted to discuss, and it was about when was your moment where you knew it was nothing but God. It was a miracle moment, and I had two different stories, but one that stuck in that I thought I should share. My cousin said that's a good topic to share on your YouTube. 2 years ago, my dad, he had a heart attack and he passed out, and he was there for 20 minutes, and he was at the hospital. And during this time, it was around May, and at that time, my 21-year-old son, he was graduating. So I had been going through back-to-back incidents at this time. I was very depressed, in a very, very dark place, and then boom, this happened with my daddy. My son is graduating, and I'm asking the people, how long can you guys hold him and keep him? Because they were like, you guys need to come down so that we can be able to, remove the tube. And they were like, you need to come and say your goodbyes. And you haven't to this day. And the day we actually got down there, the day that we were supposed to get there, the last day that they gave us, because I was busy getting my son prepared for his graduation. He had his graduation, and then we had his graduation party. And then boom, me and my brother, we go up there to say our goodbyes. So we get down there. My dad is unresponsive. He have the tube in his throat, and they give us the option. We have two options. We can either remove the tube, and he's going to go to a nursing facility where he's going to end up, he's going to be put on life support. I believe it was like a trach. Yeah, they wanted to put a trach in his throat. So we had the option of putting a trach in his throat where he'll be able to live, but he was basically going to be a vegetable, because they said his brain's functions. They said if he was to live, it was he was still not here, because he was going to be like a vegetable. He wasn't going to be able to talk, nothing, because he had died for over 20 minutes. So they're like, that's too long. He's not going to come back. He's going to pretty much be a vegetable. And so we had the option of allowing him to get the tube, to where we just holding him here, but he really is not here, or, just allowing him to pass on. So me and my brother, we did our goodbyes. We cried together. We had a moment together, and I told him I don't think he would want to live like that, where he's stuck to a tube. I feel like my daddy gave me signs, even though he wasn't responsive. When I was talking to him, he was doing certain movements that I was asking him to do. So I just felt in my heart the right thing to do was to pull the tube out of his throat and allow him to pass on. So me and my brother, we sat there with him for a little bit, and the doctors, they told us hey, y'all might want to just go ahead and leave. I know y'all probably want to be here, but a lot of times they want you to leave before they pass. He's probably been holding on just for you guys to come, because me and my brother, we don't have a serious strong relationship with my dad. He's always been in another city, so we're used to not seeing him. So I believe that, we were thinking, the doctor was maybe he just wanted you guys to come and he say his goodbyes and he'll be okay, but he might, pass on once you leave. So we rented a room out, and that whole night I'm distraught, because again, I'm going through my own things, and now this is happening with my dad. So I'm just kind of grieving, and I'm crying all night and barely went to sleep, could barely sleep. And so after so long, I told my brother, bro, let's get up, let's go ahead and go to the hospital. They haven't called. So I'm thinking, did they forget to call? Is he still alive? What's going on? And so when we walked in the hospital room, my daddy is sitting straight up. It was he was waiting on us. And I'm like, what? So I'm he didn't pass. But you could tell. And they said, they was oh, he's still playing, he's still going to end up passing. He's not going to be able to make it through this. He has pneumonia. His body is breaking down. this is sometimes what happens, you know, throughout their process before they pass. They might come all the way to and be able to have full conversation with you. So they telling us all this, but in their minds, he's gone. So they end up transferring us to the part where they give you the medication. Make sure you're comfortable. That's the stage we're at. Make sure you're comfortable. We're going to make sure he's comfortable. We're going to give him this medication, blah, blah, blah. So they take him to the part where you pass it, where they get you comfortable and prepare you to pass away. And so we're there and we're waiting, and I remember waking up, I don't know, from a nap. I don't know if I spent the night, I don't really remember, but it was like, at that time I'm thinking something was like, wait, what if he could be cured from this pneumonia? So when the nurse came in, I was like, hey, I know y'all said that he has pneumonia and, you know, he's going to be passing away. I'm like, but he hasn't passed yet, and it's been over such many hours. So is there any kind of way that I can request that he gets antibiotics to cure up the pneumonia? So they're like, oh, you want us to give him antibiotics? So instead, they were giving him medication to help him pass. But I'm like, what if he's able to live? So I asked them if they can give him antibiotics. They started giving him antibiotics. And here we are 2 years later. My daddy is still alive. My daddy came back to, started back talking. Every day that we were there, it was to the point to where he couldn't breathe. He couldn't really breathe. Like, it was so much cold in his chest. Like, you could tell like he was about to go. And like the Holy Spirit telling me to see about them antibiotics. It was like the Holy Spirit spoke through me to advocate for my daddy. And he was able to get the antibiotics. And my father is still here 2 years later. And we'll be going in May of 2025, will be 3 years of him still being alive. He's back. He still have little issues with memory, but he is nothing like he was when he came out. He didn't know who I was the whole time I was there taking care of him. He was cussing me out. He was doing all kind of stuff. He didn't know who I was. And the goodness of God allowed me to advocate for my daddy, and he is here to tell his story. Right now, I'm able to tell his story. So I wanted to share. So anybody watching this, tell me your story that you have where you know that it was a complete miracle and it had to have been God. See you later. Bye.